Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
Look at us. All four at once. Welcome to Run It Back. It's Thursday. It's our Friday. I know it's confusing. Chandler P, Lou Will, Boogie live from Mongolia. Congrats. Talk to us. How was it?
We finished up first round. We start the second round Saturday, so things.
Let's
are
go,
moving
Bug.
And to put that aside, bees, I'm feeling the leather today.
Okay, you know what?
okay.
I know
Yeah.
Conrad told you to say this.
Did you do something different with your hair? Because, damn.
Wow.
I hate
you
all
are
three of you.
glowing today.
I've never hated people more in my entire life.
Check your DMs after
By the way,
the show.
you know what? Little behind the scenes, I have my workout clothes on underneath, so I was like, let me
Yeah,
throw
you
something on
do.
top
Take it off.
Okay.
Take it all off.
Okay, no. Let's get to some. Now I'm sweating. Let's get to some basketball. Kawhi Leonard. Why do you do these things to make us laugh so hard? But anyways, the first part is serious. The 45 points is no joke against Minnesota. 15 of 20 from the field, 6 of 9 from three. First team in NBA history with a record above 500 after starting out the season. 15 games under 500.
Oh.
Quite the feat. Honestly, that is. We didn't think they'd be able to do
Impressive.
it. It's pretty impressive.
Very
I
impressive.
don't hate it. But after the game, and we're going to get to Kawhi, Anthony Edwards, who is just a joy, had some things to talk about Kawhi.
I mean, in all honesty, Kawhi may be one of the best players to ever play the game when he's healthy. I think a lot of his peers feel the same way about him. If he's healthy 100%, ain't no stopping Kawhi. So, I mean, you got to deal with it. He dealt it to us tonight again.
Just honesty, Lou. Honesty. What do you think?
Yeah, honest and realistic. I love to take from Ant-Man. He hit it on the head. Kawhi is one of the best players, one of the best two-way players when healthy. I think he gets a bad rap for all of the low management talk and the talk about him missing games. But no, this is a guy that I've watched time and time again beat everybody to the gym, always get his work in early, dead serious about his career, dead serious about winning, and puts the work in to prove it. His body just sometimes lets him down, and he needs a longer runway to get him back on the floor. That's the only knock that you can ever have on Kawhi Leonard's game, is him being available from dealing with, such serious injuries throughout the course of his career. Other than that, when he is available, when he is healthy, he's one of the most dangerous people. I never felt so confident in going into a game knowing that Kawhi was going to play because of what he brought to the table. They always gave me an extra boost of confidence knowing, hey, we got a shot to win any game that number two is involved in because of what you know that he's going to bring to the table on the offensive end and the defensive end. So Ant-Man hit this on the head. This is the right take. When he's available, when he's healthy, he's one of the most dynamic scorers, one of the most dynamic defensive players that I've ever seen do. Like, some people can impress you on the offensive end. Kawhi has done things on the defensive end that's impressed me. He's went out and got steals with one hand, bring it across his body, like on some Dr. J, Magic Johnson type vibes. Like, I've seen him do some truly incredible things on both ends of the floor. So I'm with Ant-Man on this one.
Is he getting an
100%
MVP vote? Like, you think, Boogie? Like, should he? We don't talk about him at all in that regard.
I mean, that's tough to say. I mean, obviously they had a very bad start to the season, and I mean, I would say everybody was pretty much down and out on this Clippers team. So to see how things have turned around and just to see where he's at in the season and to have a start like that and to now be a team that's above 500, that's impressive. And once again, that's something we've never seen before. So in his own rightful manner, I think more credit is deserved specifically for Kawhi. And he's the head of that snake. And in the midst of starting bad, in the midst of losing another franchise guy in James Harden, a big-time trade that, would mostly crumble most organizations, this Clippers team has actually gotten even better, which is, surprising to say. Like I said in our last show, the pace has picked up. The style of play has changed. The floor has opened up more for their offense. So a lot of things have improved for this Clippers organization and this Clippers team. And like I said, he's the head of the snake. So to say, should he have an MVP vote, I would say yes. I mean, it's not that many guys we could could put in this situation to say we would get the same type of result. So when we talk about MVP, we talk about the most valuable player to a team. You take Kawhi off this team, we're not even having this conversation. So, and with that being said, I would say yes, he does deserve a MVP vote at this point in the season and moving forward. So I would say yes.
I have a question. I've never been in an MVP conversation. How many people can actually be in the pool of MVP candidates?
Oh, I think
Well,
we
you can
look at
vote.
it. There's just
You can
votes,
vote for
right? So there's-
anybody.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think you can. I don't remember. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Which is
And
crazy.
listen, Kawhi.
I mean, but
Kawhi based
also
on
saying a guy deserves a vote doesn't mean he deserves to win the award.
A vote, a singular vote, like
Yeah,
somebody's got
should
to
he
do it.
get recognition as an MVP? Hell yes.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
that
I
mean he
think he
deserves
should
to win the
be- he
award?
sh-
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should get some recognition. He should be getting his flowers for what he's done and the turnaround that the Clippers have had, no doubt. Is he going to win MVP this year? Probably no chance. But again, he can get a vote. But you look at what SGA, you look at these Jokic, Cade Cunningham, like the winning teams that are the 1 or 2 seeds are probably going to get more recognition in that MVP. But when you talk about him of all time and the history of Kawhi Leonard, to me, it's so impressive how he always bounces back from really serious injuries. Most guys, they don't come back the same. They come back a step slow. And obviously, he's had his ups and downs. But the fact that he's went through all these different injuries and now is still playing at this level is truly unbelievable. Especially like I know exactly. I've been through what he's gone through, and it is like I'm still miserable today because of it. And he's putting up 29 a game in the NBA. Like it's really is crazy how efficient and how productive he has been still on both sides of the ball at 35, 36 years old. It really is insane what he's doing. So he should get some love. Is he going to win MVP? No, but he should be up in there, first team, second team, all NBA for sure.
Yeah, there should be like a turnaround award or I don't know, something. Because this is quite the story considering where they started. The
Most
favorite, my
improved?
best but something like it's unheard of. It's historic what they've done. No, he's not gonna be most improved. The team could be.
Boogie just threw that out there to see what would happen. He knew better
Well,
than
because
that. He
if
know
they
he's going
gave
for
you a
that.
team award for most improved, maybe not Kawhi is just Kawhi. Also, speaking of, there was a scuffle at the end of this bad boy over a game ball, seemingly. But this, hey, a fight! That is my favorite
And then he
thing
laughed.
of the night, guys.
This is like a schoolyard. You see a scuffle in the playground. You go fight.
And everyone
Kawhi
I
Leonard
wish we
did
had
that.
sound so we could hear his laugh right there when he giggled. Look,
Hey.
check him out. He thinks it's hilarious.
It is actually. By the way, what is have we figured out the rule over the game ball? Like I don't even understand what happened here. Who wanted
Is
what?
that what was going on? What was this about?
Allegedly. It happened
Mather
like
and-
just
It wasn't
Mather and
history
Naz
made,
Reid?
right? I mean, Mather had a good game. He had 22 points, but I don't know if someone like has their first couple points or breaks a record. It's obvious that you're supposed to give them the game ball. We've seen a couple of dust ups with Giannis. I feel like the Bucks have been in a couple of them.
hold on, Chandler. It was one of the Clippers had their first points.
Yeah, you got to get the ball for
Why is
him.
Minnesota
Okay.
even involved in that then?
I'm actually not sure. I'm only here for the Kawhi Leonard. Hey, it's a
Probably
fight
because they
moment.
got smacked by 20 and they didn't want to give it up.
That's actually a
Yeah,
good point.
y'all.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's actually fair.
What is Minnesota even fighting? Those are the LA
The fight
Clippers
should have been during the
basketball.
game, not afterwards.
Also
Yeah.
that. Also that. Yeah. That's the timing is weird. But thank you, Kawhi,
Hey,
for once
fight.
again giving us some. I know.
I'm gonna say
giving
that
us a
all day
moment.
long today. Hey, fight.
Hey, it's a fight.
Really good.
It's just so good. We also had some other moments. DeJounte Murray with a moment last night over Jamal Shead. This is late in the fourth. Pelicans Raptors. Oh. And
That
then
is
that one feels bad to me.
Mm.
Is somebody doing
That-
something back as a result? I mean, I know
Yeah,
man.
if you're Scotty Barnes, if you're someone on
Yeah.
this Raptors team,
Oh.
you got to do something about this. Look at Jamal's face too.
he's so close.
Nah, don't,
So close.
I'm not worried about his. What's the guy on the floor doing? His.
That's what I'm
facial
saying.
expressions.
Look at his face.
Oh yeah.
It's like he's getting
Nah.
closer.
I
Are
like
you?
it.
If you're a
I
teammate,
like this
Boogie, if
type
you're a
of energy.
Raptor,
This is showmanship. This is entertainment for the crowd. Obviously, DeJounte Murray is a dog when he's on the floor, when he's healthy. This is exactly
Oh, my
me. I'm not
goodness.
mad at this at all. If anything, I'm looking at the Raptors funny as far as leaving their guy on the floor.
Yeah.
Watch his face. Look at his face.
Kind of had this embarrassing moment, but DeJounte Murray energy, I love it.
Oh no, the Murray stuff I don't have an issue with. I was just wondering if a Raptor shoulda, coulda, maybe come forward quicker.
Yeah, you might
Yeah,
have.
I don't know.
I would expect so, for sure.
Okay, because that was with some oomph. Nuggets Rockets is a game we also got to see last night. I don't know what's going on, Houston. 129-93 is your final in favor of Denver. Jamal Murray with 30, 4 assists. Jokic, 16, 13, 12, 5 steals. Yes, sir. Christian Brown with 19. Amen Thompson finished with 16, 5, and 4. These two teams, I think inconsistent is about the best word that you could use to describe both of them since the All-Star break. I don't know about Houston, Boogie. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on there. Even though they've been inconsistent, though, do you look at Denver and still feel a little bit of like, you know what, once the playoffs start, they'll be steady? I still have faith.
Absolutely. As long as they got a guy in Jokic on that squad, I don't think that's ever a question. But I think the main issue with Denver this year has just been health. It's been a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. They're still struggling, to kind of remain healthy. Also, they made that big all-season move with trading Michael Porter Jr., and they're not really getting the production or what they expected from, Cameron Johnson. I believe his name's Cameron Johnson. Yeah.
Johnson.
With that being said, I think the missing piece of MPJ was a really big hole for them, and missing that offense, missing that chemistry and that camaraderie. On paper, it seemed like a good move at the time because they got a lot of pieces back. They were able to kind of fill out their bench as well, but just that starting 4 spot with Cameron Johnson, it hasn't reached the potential that they thought it would. And I would also just throw health in there. One of the biggest things for a regular season is being healthy, and that's just something they haven't really been able to do this season. But once this team gets healthy, there's no doubt in my mind they're a contender in the West, and especially with a guy and Jokic being on the floor. So it's all about health at this point for me.
Yeah, and if I look at these two teams, I'm way more concerned about Houston because they've had these bad losses where their offense gets so stagnant. It's all ISO. They don't play fast, and it's almost like they don't use their biggest skill set with his athleticism and length and get out and play. So to me, I'm more concerned about them. When you look at Denver, it's interesting because I loved that move this offseason for Cam Johnson, like Boogie said, and then MPJ goes to Brooklyn and is putting up 25, 26 a game and was damn near an all-star, and Cam still hasn't found his rhythm for Denver. And then you look at all the injuries they've had with Christian Brown missing some time. Aaron Gordon's just now getting back in the lineup. They did find something with Peyton Watson while those guys were out. Now he's out, so they haven't been really whole this whole season. Jamal Murray obviously is a first-time all-star, and Jokic is doing what Jokic does. But when this team is fully healthy and complete, I do still think they're a contender and a real threat to get out of the West. And I think they are obviously the biggest challenges for those young OKC and San Antonio teams to get to the finals again. So I think they're going to be fine. I think their bench, I think, Hardaway's been a good pickup. Hardaway's almost done what I thought Cam Johnson was going to be doing for them in a way with providing shooting. They get Bruce Brown back, who was a huge piece of that championship team. So I do think the Nuggets will be just fine. And we haven't really seen them fully healthy yet.
Which is terrifying, by the way. And Lou, the 3, 4, 5, 6 situation is a hot, beautiful mess. When you look at that, do you look at Denver and think, yeah, they're probably still the top 3 here, despite whatever this looks like?
I got to take it for face value. They're a team that's trying to figure it out. That was a good win last night, but they've had their inconsistencies, like the guys just mentioned. 7 and 10 over their last 17 games. I think Cam Johnson, he hasn't quite replaced MPJ as we thought he would, but he's been decent, averaging like 11 points a game, this and that. The big thing to me is Aaron Gordon being in and out of the lineup and him trying to find a rhythm and getting back into the groove of this game. He's that third piece that's going to get them over the hill. And until he has one of those breakout games that can turn that into, a 5 to 10 game run where he's consistent and where we can see him really play at the level that he's capable of playing, I think that's when you'll begin to see the Denver Nuggets team that we've grown accustomed to seeing. Until then, I think they're just going to be where they are, in a 4 or 5 spot, fighting for their lives to try to get home court advantage. But I think once, like I said, once Aaron Gordon kind of gets his feet up under him and he finds a rhythm and be that 17 to 20 points a game guy that we've gotten used to seeing him be for them, that's when I think we see a Denver Nuggets team. Last night he had 0 points, didn't have a lot of impact in that game. And they still steamroll a team. So imagine if you can get him going and he's an added layer to what you're trying to accomplish. That makes this Denver team completely different, in my opinion.
This is going to be rowdy, this Western Conference playoff situation. The last month, I know it's been difficult. I really, like, when you look at it, even with the Nuggets sitting there lower, it's just going to be rough. Like, whoever gets whoever, this is going to be a tough battle, Boogie. How hard is this part of the season?
Rockets team, though.
Well, what's wrong with, like, what is the deal?
Rockets, regardless, are going to have a really tough first-round matchup.
I just don't understand how you spend this whole season, you lose Fred VanVleet in the offseason, coming into the season, and you know how valuable that guy is to this team. And you have all this time realizing how inconsistent your team has been all year, and you still don't make a play for some sort of a veteran PG. Like, that's literally all this team is missing. They need somebody out there to control the offense, control the flow of the game. That's it. You got a guy like Chris Paul sitting at home who's the perfect guy for that role. Like, you don't need 40 minutes from him, just a guy that can give you 20, 18, just in those moments where the offense gets stagnant, like you lose that flow in the game, just somebody to set up everybody on the floor. That's all that's really needed for this offense. And, they still don't make a move. So it's kind of mind-blowing to me that they would, allow this season to kind of go to waste. You invest in Kevin Durant at the age that he's at. And it almost seems like you're kind of wasting a year of Kevin Durant's years that are left. So that's just mind-blowing to me that the Rockets would continue to go through this season without, attending to the issue, which is getting a point guard. I'm baffled by that.
Well, I think they got sucked into being successful, Boogie. End of the day, they 65 games in, right? And they still in the third spot. And they've been consistently in that position for the course of the year. So when you stay in a spot like that, sometimes, you can drink the Kool-Aid and feel like we're okay right here. We're going to be all right. And then once you kind of hit some turbulence, you have to address the problems that you have. Like you just said, if that was a glaring problem that we saw at the beginning of the year, it might have been a little fool's goal how y'all were able to get into your offense and get into a rhythm until it's a problem. And you never address that, and you never address that concern. So I'm with you on that, Boogie. They should have addressed that concern, but I think they kind of got wrapped up in them being able to win some games and getting into a great flow and staying in home court advantage, up until this point of the season.
Now it's too late. Got to deal with what you have. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we'll talk to Norris Cole. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, run it back.
Norris Cole. You're looking at the winner. Look at Cole, my goodness. When I wake up and look in the mirror, I'm looking at a winner and looking at the champ.
Two-time champ, actually. Norris Cole joins the show right now. First of all, thanks for joining us. Happy to have you on. And I heard you a little bit yesterday over on NBA radio talking about the Bam Adebayo 83 points, and people are still talking about it today. It had the weirdest reactions across the board. So first of all, did you ever think the Kobe 81 would get passed in our lifetimes?
Thanks for having me. And no, I did not. I did not think that we would see. I didn't think we would see anyone eclipse, Kobe's 81 for a while. But it couldn't have happened to a better person. I mean, Bam, he's an unselfish player. He's the captain of the Miami. He does everything right, for the organization. So for him to have, one special night, I don't see what the big fuss is. But I think it was a great experience. He put himself in a position to get close to the record. And when you get close to an all-time record like that, you got to go for it.
You gotta go for it. That's the only point I was trying to make yesterday, and they killed me for it. When you get close to the fire, you gotta go for it. I don't care how you get there.
Because there's no telling when the next time you'll ever get a chance to do it again. Like, he might never have a moment like that ever again.
The more I say 83 out loud, it is an insane number. I think the craziest notion or opinion that I saw I'm not even a professional anything, and I thought this was nuts. Some people were even implying that he should have pulled himself out of the game in respect to Kobe Bryant. That seems a little much, no?
That's crazy to us.
But why?
That's not how this works. That's not how
That's
it
definitely
works.
not how this works. This is not junior varsity. This is not YMCA. This is professional sports. We get paid to play. You know, people complain about load management and taking people out. So now we're gonna complain that a guy he's in the zone and he want to finish out the zone. I don't know. We can't win now.
Man.
So we're mad at him. We're mad at him for making history. Like, in what world?
I don't know.
No world.
Listen, I'm in a full-blown argument on Instagram with a guy about doing this because of Kobe. I'm in a full-blown argument like, bro, y'all don't know if y'all are true fans of Kobe, he would have done the same exact thing. If you get that close, he's going for it. But that's another conversation. We'll go
that
on
dude
and on.
lives in his parents' basement, Lou. Stop talking to him.
Man, who knows?
That'd be a nice
But,
basement.
you know, who knows? But listen, what got me out of my seat during that entire game was Spo challenging the foul call up 25. I was like, yes, that's a coach that I would love to work with because he understands the moment. He understands where we are. He was a part of your career as well. Tell me what it was like working side by side with Spo and what type of coach he was and how he's been able to be successful, you know, over a course of 2 decades.
Well, that moment showed what type of person Spo is. Spo always wants his players to succeed. And I was blessed to have him young and early in my career. Obviously, I didn't have the freedom to even shoot enough to score 80, but he did help me as a young point guard, you know, what to look for. He gave me a chance. You know, to remind me, he wasn't known for playing young point guards, as you know, Lou, back then. So for him to trust me to be on a team like that, to be able to contribute to winning, it just shows how much, you know, trust he has in his players when they earn it. And he's also always aware of the moment. So if someone's having a moment and in their zone, he's going to step back and get out the way and let that player have their moment. And that's why people love playing for Spo.
Absolutely. Let me ask you about some of the guys that you shared the floor with at that time, because you came in the league right after the Heatles were formed with D-Wade, Bron, and obviously Chris Bosh. That's a hell of a rookie year, man. What was it like being on that team? And out of those 3 guys, who would you consider your vet?
Well, it was kind of weird, Lou, because remember, it was a lockout my rookie year. So I didn't have a training camp or anything like that. So we showed up.
Wow, that's right.
We had a few weeks to train, and then Christmas Day was the first game. So we had like a few weeks of practice, and then we had to play. So I just wanted to earn their trust, honestly. Obviously, before that, I was a fan of the game. You know, I watched the game. I was a fan of D-Wade. Bron is from Ohio, obviously, and then CB. He also has roots from my hometown. His grandparents are from my hometown. So I knew those guys. I was fans of those guys. But once I got on the team, I wanted to earn their trust. And that's all my focus was. Like, let me do what I have to do to earn their trust. And all 3 of them was my vets, Lou. So I worked out with Bron during the lockout because he was in Ohio. D-Wade, you know, one of the holidays, I went over his house for the holidays because I didn't go home. You know, I couldn't make it home. And then CB, you know, a couple times, you know, I did my rookie duties, what I was supposed to do, bring donuts and stuff like that. And he rewarded me with a Louis V backpack. You know what I'm saying? He got me my first Louis V backpack. So all 3 of them was my vets, you know.
Oh, you had rich vets. See, the vets I know, they buy Door to Explorer backpacks and all that.
They took care of me for sure.
Norris, we were the same draft that year, and I remember seeing you and seeing the success you had so early and almost being jealous. Like, you get to play with these 3 guys in Miami. I'm like, damn. What was that like? Did you have the green light? Did those guys kind of limit you? They tell you, like, when to pick your spots, or they just let you kind of rock early on?
So early on, they wanted to see what I could do. They wanted to see was the stage going to be too bright for me. So, like, my first home game, I had like 20 points, 14 in the 4th. But then a few games later, you know, once I settled in, you know, they reeled me back in like, okay, cool. We know what you can do. All right, but this is going to be your role for the team. And, you know, I had to accept it. You know, I was used to, you know, from Cleveland State, I was used to shooting the ball, being aggressive, handling the ball. But any team with Bron and D-Wade, you're going to enter the ball and run to the corner and create space. That's just what you're going to do. And so, you know, I adapted. And because I adapted, I was able to play. If I would have fought it, I just would have been buried on the bench, you know, and that's just would have been what it is. So they allowed me to have my freedom every now and then to, you know, show what I can do. But after I showed what I can do, that was like, okay, that's cool. But this is where we need you. And I just accepted that. But Chandler, I remember our draft workout, bro, in Miami. You was the funniest
Yes,
dude.
sir.
You was talking so much
He
trash.
ain't changed much, Cole. He ain't changed much.
Hey,
That's about right.
Lou, he was talking cash stuff, laughing, and Pat Riley's a serious guy. And he was laughing in the workouts. I said, this white boy is crazy. I said, this is crazy.
That's why they didn't draft me, Norris. Bastards. Hey, did you
Talk too
have like a
much.
welcome to the NBA moment with those guys, whether that was on the team plane or in practice? Because that's next level with that kind of money and that kind of fame, just being around those cats.
Well, I knew as soon as I pulled up, my car was a little different than their cars. And then the next game, it was a different car. And then 25 games in, I'm still seeing different cars. So I knew every day I pulled up, this is a different world.
That is awesome. God, that's awesome.
So,
that was your welcome. That's like the best welcome moment ever.
Yeah, seeing a Bentley and then
I've
seeing a
never seen a
roll, then
Bentley.
seeing a Porsche.
Yeah.
I seen the Bentley Moussain. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is that? I was like, what is that car here? Yes,
That's
Norris, you won 2 rings
good.
with those Heat teams. Do you have a favorite moment that stands out for you in those title runs? And were the practices as intense as the games were?
Yeah, I'll answer that second one first. Practice was tough. The Heat is known for having one of the tougher practices because they believe in practicing for the full 2 hours. Spo is a person that believes in doing the same thing every single day. So we did a lot of the same thing every single day. And we competed like 5-on-5. Like it was a part of practice where he would blow the whistle and he'd be like, all right, knee pads and mouthpieces, which means we about to go live. And we had those practices, multiple times during the week in between games. And he never stacked the teams. Like it wasn't always the starters versus the backups. It was starters, backups, and then he'd go like the second unit where he'd split. Bron is on a different team than D Wade, so it might be D Wade and CB against Bron and UD, and like he would split the teams up really good. So we would have some really good matchups in practice. And as far as the championships, I think the biggest, winning is always fun, but I think the first one, I was able to help our team. I think it was game 4. We was down by double digits, and I had a moment where I scored like 8 points in 6 minutes to cut the lead down, and then Spo brought the starters back in, and that took the momentum to where we came back and we won that game. And so I was really proud to be able to contribute in that finals moment.
Feel it. Does it shock you that Thunder team you guys beat in the finals basically broke up, after that run? And do you think if they would have stayed together, they would have had a chance to at least win one?
Yes, we thought that was going to be the team we was going to have to face year in and year out. Obviously, San Antonio, they had different plans, but I was very surprised because they were so young. They were very young. So, when teams are young, they are ascending. And obviously, we see the careers that, they big three that they had individually. But as a team, we thought that we were going to have to see them year in and year out. But, Tim Duncan, he had a lot to say about that, and TP, and then Kawhi emerged, and so the Spurs had a lot to say about that.
Yes, Norris, Spurs homer here. I have a question about Kawhi. By the way, the fact that I'm asking a Kawhi question today in 2026 about 13 and 14, given the night he had last night, is just such an awesome full circle moment. But LeBron's mentality when he had to play against Kawhi, because we do have the audible F-bomb memory that is glorious. What was his mentality towards Kawhi? And as a team, when you'd see that dude on the court, what'd y'all think?
Well, anytime a player can get easy buckets, they want to get easy buckets. And so that moment that people, when LeBron made that face, it was like he kind of maybe left some food on the table. Because anytime you get a chance to get some breathing room as a scorer, you're going to take advantage of that before your tough defender come back in. So we didn't look at Kawhi like, it wasn't like any fear towards Kawhi or nothing, but it was a respect factor that, hey, we got to be a little sharper around him. You can't be loose with the ball around him. Your passes have to be on point because he's an excellent defender. And so we were very, very conscious of that. Whenever he was anywhere near the play, we had to make sure we were extra sharp, because if he wasn't, he was going to get a deflection or a steal. And Brian understood that as well.
Respect that. Let me ask you a question as a fan and then being a part of it. What's the most dangerous version of LeBron in your opinion? The first clip, the Cleveland run, the Miami run where he was the villain, Black Mass, that's my personal favorite, or when he came back to Cleveland. Which one would you say?
It's two of them, Lou. The Miami one was dangerous because he had something that he was hunting for that he didn't have. And we all know, all of
There
us,
you
when
go.
we didn't have nothing, how hungry we was to get it. When we was
There you go.
getting to the NBA, and then when we got there, we wanted to get the contract, we wanted to solidify ourselves. And so that was a dangerous version of Bron because he was on the hunt to getting that. And so he was very, very dangerous. And then when he went back to Cleveland, he had it figured out. So that's a dangerous version too, as y'all know as athletes. Once you figure it out, you a bad man. And so I think the Miami Heat version, and then when he went back to Cleveland, those were the most dangerous versions because one, he was hungry and hunting, and then he figured out so he could do it again and replicate that. So those were his two
Yeah.
most dangerous versions to me.
Yeah, Norris, I want to stay there for a little bit because you were actually still playing for Cleveland State when LeBron left 2010 and had the whole decision thing. Like, first of all, did that have an impact on you just being an Ohio kid? And do you remember like where you were during the decision?
So yeah, I was still on campus. It didn't affect me personally. I thought that a player should be able to go wherever he wants to go. I didn't understand the professionalism part. I was in school. I was like, man, hey, if you want to go somewhere, go. But it did affect downtown Cleveland. It went from
Okay.
nice restaurants, lights, camera, action on the weekends during the week to ghost town. Downtown was a ghost town once he left. So I actually saw that visually. The economy changed. I was there and lived in person for sure.
It's crazy.
That's
And
crazy.
then you're on the Heat in 2014 when he goes back to Cleveland. Like, what was that like for the Heat? That what was the organization like? Any Pat Riley moments that were hilarious once he bounced again?
Well, it was weird because I had fans in Cleveland that loved me, but still hated LeBron. And so that was the awkward thing when I would go back to the school. They'd be like, man, congratulations. We wish the best for you, but man, F him. And I'm like, man, you can't say that. I said, because his success is tied to my success. I said, you can't say that. So that was interesting. That was interesting. And then when I got to Miami, it was a whole different world. I had to change my whole wardrobe. I mean, I had all heavy clothes and stuff like that. And so Miami totally changed. Like I totally had to change kind of everything that I had known because it's a different culture. It's a different team. Pat Riley was so serious. Like I'm a serious guy by nature, but this guy is like stone face, scar face, mob boss. Like sometimes you look at it, you don't know if you want to give him a nod or just like turn your head. It was kind of weird, when you met Pat, but he's a good guy once you get to know him.
I love
Speaking of Pat, rumor is LeBron, Pat Riley whole little beef started over, Pat taking his cookies on the plane.
It just doesn't sound right.
Can you confirm that things got a little weird and uneasy that last season in Miami because of that?
Yes, things did get uneasy, but it was getting uneasy before that. You got to understand, Bron is used to having like unlimited freedom. Like that's just what it is. And in the Miami Heat organization, it's never going to be like that. They give the best players some freedom, but there's always going to be some sort of, being held accountable. And Pat does that on purpose. Sometimes he irks you on purpose. In that cookie situation, he did that on purpose to irk Bron a little bit. Definitely did that on purpose. But there was also talk about, the first year when they was trying to figure it out, and it was rumblings about could Spo coach this team. All that was going on. And so Pat Riley made a stand like, hey, listen, Spo's gonna be the coach of this team no matter what nobody say. No matter what you say, no matter what you say, no matter what, he's gonna be the coach, no matter what. And so ever since then, it was like, well, Pat is the boss here, and Bron is used to always calling the shots a lot. And so it was always a little bit of rift there. And that cookie situation kind of just took it over the top.
There was a straw that broke
I
the
will
back.
never not laugh at the cookie situation. It
Hey,
makes me
Boogie.
giggle every
Boogie,
time.
what would you have done if George Karl took your cookies?
Your cookies.
Yeah, George Karl ain't Pat Riley, so nah.
Yeah, that's it. Chandler, don't do this. Don't set this
I'm just
up.
trying to rumble the feathers.
Don't get him started, bro.
wound up right now.
Don't do this
Don't
right
get him
now. We're all in a
started
good
up,
mood.
dog. It's
Like,
too early in
come
the
on now.
morning to get Boogie riled up,
It
man.
really
It's
is.
late
It's
for
in
me, so I'm
Mongolia.
there. I'm already there.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot you're at nighttime. Norris, I got to ask you, because the Heat culture, I feel like it gets mocked by those who didn't live it. I really only ever want to hear from people who lived it. Like, how do you define Heat culture?
Accountability. It's accountability. And a lot of people talk about accountability, but you understand when you play there, you're going to always be held accountable. No matter what your title is, no matter what your pay grade is, you're going to be held accountable. And that's the biggest thing, is accountability. You're going to do weight and body fat no matter what. You're going to train after the game. If you don't play more than 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to be working out in the weight room after the game. You're going to play 2-on-2, 3-on-3. If you play limited minutes, that's just what you're going to do. You have to do that. And so it's just a level of accountability that most organizations, quite frankly, just don't have.
No, that's like most places don't have at this point. Route 30, talk to us. What is that?
Route 30, that's my consulting company. I appreciate that. Where we train kids individually. We have clinics also where we do camps, girl camps and boy camps. We actually have a camp this summer. The first camp is June 8th through the 11th. And so I'm looking forward to that. And we also have apparel where we have our saying at Route 30 is sacrifice, give back, inspired. And that's the 3 pillars of success that we believe in, which Route 30 just simply means the route to success. And that was my number. I was successful with it. And I made it my brand and what I stand for. So it's something that I live every day. And I try to pass that word on to others, especially young athletes.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Route 30.
Great, man.
Before we let you go, man, we're alike, man. We both coach girls basketball. My daughter got me involved in it, and now that I'm all in, I can't see my life no other way than coaching these young ladies. Started with a program with 1 team. Now we got 9 in the AAU circuit doing our thing. But how did you get into coaching women's basketball at Trinity High?
Man, congratulations on that, Lou. I like to hear that.
It's a
My
lot.
wife,
You know it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So my wife actually connected me. So I'm, we just got married, and I wanted to see where she was from. So, I have a home where I'm from, but she has a home in, Central PA. So we moved here, and I wanted to check out the area. And the coach at her alma mater, where she went to school, their coach got sick like 2 weeks before the season. I mean, so sick to where the doctor said he can't coach this season. And when I was in high school, my coach had got sick, so I kind of felt for him, and I wasn't playing yet. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go coach. And she said, actually, you're joking, but you actually should. I'm going to call him back and tell him to try to hire you or to interview you. And they called me back, and we talked, and we made it happen. And then once I got started.
That was a quick interview.
Wow.
It was. And you know what? The hardest thing was, Lou, how am I going to communicate with them? Because, in a male locker room, there's certain things that's acceptable that's not acceptable around women. Like, certain things that they can't say to the baby girl. So that was my biggest thing. Like, I have to see how I can communicate with them while being honest and intense, but also understanding that these are young women, and young women have to be respected when men are talking to them. So that was the biggest challenge. And once I got over that, we won the district championship. We're still in the state playoffs. We play tomorrow, the 3rd round, the quarterfinals. So I'm looking forward to that. Yep.
Yes,
I love this. I love this. All right. Well, first and foremost, good luck tomorrow, Norris. That is the most important thing. Beat them. And thank you for joining us. We appreciate the time, truly. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, Lou, if y'all ever play up this way, let me know now.
Say less. I got you.
Yep.
We'll be back.
Run it up, run it back.
All right, here we go. A little call your shot action. I'm going to give you guys a prompt, and you guys are going to fill in the blank for me. We're starting in the Western Conference with the Lakers of Los Angeles. They're on a nice they're having a moment right now. They've won in 3 in a row. So Chandler, they will finish in the West.
They will finish 6th in the West. I think they get in the playoffs, but I do think Denver and Minnesota are more complete, solid teams. I think they will finish. I think they're, half game or a game ahead of them. A lot of basketball to be played left. So I think they'll finish right in that 6th spot, but will avoid the play-in this year.
All right, they're dropping. Anybody else have a different one? Or
I got
people
5th.
have them dropping?
5th was my initial, but I don't mind 6 either.
Okay. Boogie?
Same, 5th, 6th range.
Dang.
Leaning more towards 6.
Fair enough. Lou, you'll start this one. The Lakers will make it to the what round in the playoffs?
They will make it to the 1st round of the playoffs. Right now the matchups are the matchups. They got some things to figure out on the defensive end before I give them my wave over seeing Denver or Minnesota in the 1st round right now with the way that things are trending. I like those teams' chances better at this moment, so I would say 1st round.
All right, that's depressing. It's going to be a very long summer out here. Boogie, you're up next. Luka Doncic will be what team All-NBA?
I'm going to go 2nd just because of, the team's success. I can't put him over Cade Cunningham. I can't put him over Jaylen Brown. Obviously, Shea. I'm going to go second team.
Second team.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say first. It's just hard for me to ignore a guy
interesting.
averaging 30.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's going to lead the league in scoring and not putting on first team, but who's he going to make it over? Jaylen Brown or Cade Cunningham? Like, it's tough. So I like second.
No can do. All right, second, nothing to sneeze at. I love this
I'm
one.
going
Chandler,
first,
I'm
though.
giving you this one because you love Luka so much. Luka will win how many championships with the Lakers?
I don't
I
see
know.
them getting past. I don't see them getting past OKC and San Antonio anytime soon. I really don't. So, and unless they draw like Houston in the playoffs first round this year, I think they're a first round exit, like Lou said. So, I don't want to say zero because they are the Lakers and they can add God knows who each summer at the trade deadline because they are Los Angeles and everyone will want to come play here at some point. So, to say zero seems a little bit harsh, but
You can say zero.
I'm going
It
to
is on
say
the board.
zero. He's also how many years is he going to be? This is such a broad question, Beads.
No, it's not. The answer is zero. We were looking for zero. Thank you.
Zero or what? Zero or one, just because you just don't know who they're going to add, how long he's going to be there.
Man, answer the question. Which one?
Say it's
a hard
zero or
question.
not.
It's a hard
Listen,
question.
this the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to put pieces around Luka. They're going to always put
One.
themselves in a position to bring
Okay.
in star power. I'm going one.
Yeah.
I'm going
And
one as
he's-
well.
you guys
And I
are
think
the
that's a bit of a reach. And this is no knock to Luka, but when you think about the OKCs, you think about the young Spurs group. I don't know how
Pretty tough.
much you could add to a Luka to, surpass that group of talent. So I'll go one.
So
as
zero.
well.
Okay. You guys
I'll
are,
go
you know
one.
what? Fine.
I'm one.
Okay, well, I'm on the record as zero, so it's a 75% for one. Got it. For the only one I have an opinion on. All right, next
He
up,
could be there.
Spurs.
He could be there for 8 more years. You think
He's-
zero?
I do think zero. I'll go to my grave. It's zero. Wemby will win Defensive Player of the Year. Lou, what are we thinking? Yeah.
Yes.
This
Yeah, I don't
year
get
and
this one.
every year.
Yeah, forever and as long as he reaches the mathematical.
I got
floor.
I got the over on him going to get the record of like, I don't know,
Yeah.
5 or 6
Same.
for real.
Same.
Fact. Me
That's-
too.
I
Okay,
think he'll
well then
break the
stay
record.
there. You can answer this.
And
The
it'll
over
actually be
under on
legit.
that. Four and a half. So everyone's taking the over of 4.5.
Stop that, Boogie.
Give me the over. If
It'll be legit,
if we're
bro.
looking at measuring sticks around the league and Rudy Gobert and his impact and what
There
he's
it
been
is.
able to do on the defensive end is 4. I like Wemby's chances of getting just as many or more.
Over.
Over. Boogie's
I
over.
think like
Yeah, I know Boogie's over.
God willing, knock on wood, some health. 8, 9, 10 of like who is
What?
like this guy's outrageous. If he
That's
plays
gonna
15
change
years,
Luka's ring count.
It's back to zero.
If he plays 15 years in the NBA,
Exactly.
he will win. He will win 8 Defensive Player of the Years if he plays
I can't.
14,
I don't
15
even.
years.
He will
can't
have the
process
record
that.
for Defensive Player of the Year. I believe.
Wow. You guys, my
deserving.
smile's hurting my face. That's great stuff. All right,
Hey,
the Spurs.
Please keep
What?
smiling. You look good today, girlfriend.
You know what? I am. We're almost done. Okay, I don't even have a watch on. Spurs will finish the season as the 1 seed out west. What do you think, Lou? That's
What did I miss? The Spurs will
yeah. They
finish
finished.
this
They
season as the
beat
1
out
seed
OKC. Yeah, that's
I don't think so. I don't think they make
2
it.
games back.
2.5 back.
2.5
Yeah,
back.
we keep talking about teams that have switches that turn them on. It looks like OKC has hit the switch and they're ready to go. I don't think they walk them down.
That's a tough bat. By the way, I don't know if you want to. Just stay in the 2. It's going to be tough regardless, I think. Guys,
Stay in
we're going
the
to take
2.
a quick break. Like, we'll run it back on the other side. We're going to do a quick NBA Finals version here. A little over a month left. Whee! Call your shot. What 2 teams are we going to see in the finals, Lou?
OKC, Boston.
Okay. Okay.
I like OKC, Boston. I don't know. It's just something about Boston that's brewing
Same.
in the East that I'm down for. I love what Detroit has been able to put together. I think there are issues with a secondary scorer right there. If something crazy happens with Cade Cunningham where they put a good defensive package together and kind of limit his touches or something like that, It's just a little. I'm unsure about Detroit, so I like
Fair.
Boston.
Boogie, you're the same?
Same.
Man, poor Eastern Conference did not have Celtics coming back.
But you
All
got
right, Boogie,
Beads.
what? The
you
Boston
got?
thing is, I like the Boston. I had Detroit for the longest time, but I'm kind of with Lou. Like lately it's felt a little wonky. And I don't know what that's going to look like in a month. And Boston knows what they're doing. That's a little
What
terrifying.
about the West?
You know what the West is, Boogie. You already
Guys,
know.
I just want to hear
Let
it.
me
I gotta hear
live.
it.
Let me actually. I am.
She's in a race for Sace. We don't
I am
have
in a
to
race
ask
for
her
Sace
anymore.
constantly, but I'm also a person who believes in jinxes, so I can't say it out loud. God, you're gonna see the worst
It's a little
side.
late
of
for
me
that.
this month.
We talk about this
Finals,
every day.
Yeah,
But all right.
Shut up. Who wins the championship, Lou?
I got OKC going back to back.
Right.
I think it's
Repeat.
their ring. I think it's their ring to lose, and I don't see them playing themselves out of position. They check all the boxes. They got the depth. They got the experience now. They got the confidence in knowing what it takes to get all the way there. I got OKC going back to back.
Boogie,
Same.
see an upset? Oh wow, really? Okay. I don't know, guys. If it's Boston, I could see it. I could see Boston shocking.
If
the
anybody.
world. Finals MVP is Boogie.
Shay.
Boom. Oh, he might get both again.
Finals MVP. It gotta be Shea right now for me. I don't see anybody else getting it. If that's gonna be our champion, I gotta go Shea. I also can make a case for Jaylen Brown on the East as well. I want to say Jaylen Brown, but I think OKC wins the chip.
Fair enough. We got a quick fitter break. God, I've missed these, and there have been some good ones. We need to start doing them more and more. Yeah, I know. Wemby in the Garden. Oh, where does he get these jeans? Like, is everything custom?
Gotta be custom. I ain't never seen no 64 length.
And they're long. Well, he's got the Louis Vuitton deal. Okay, all right, keep going, keep
42
going.
inseam.
Oh yeah, if he's an ambassador of Louis Vuitton, he for sure got the custom fly joints.
He's got custom. Yeah, he's got the good stuff.
and
Russell
he got
Westbrook,
enough
man.
jean to put a cuff in him, but that's a brick for the cuff.
I don't love the cuff. Interesting placement of things.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Evisu.
is a fit for Evisu. You don't know nothing about no
Yeah.
Evisu, Beetle. Them Evisu jeans. These ain't
That's a
Diesel.
fit,
These
man.
is Evisu. That's a fit.
Yeah.
How much are they?
Yeah.
How much
That's
are these
about
jeans?
$1,000 pair of pants right there.
What? My father is just dying somewhere right
And that's
now.
on the low end, Beetle.
For jeans? I mean, I must be getting.
For
Oh,
jeans.
this was the one. I was waiting on this one. What on God's green earth is
This
this?
It's giving me Zoolander here. I can't do it.
He said,
That's some
"Brick,
Revenant
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You know
Can't
me,
do it.
me and Boogie Country boys at heart. But I spent quite a while in LA, so you know what I'm saying. I'm a little reformed in Boogie.
Just looking at this picture got my allergies acting up, man.
That's
I'm
a good
about to
call.
sneeze, man.
It wasn't
that's
even
a-
that cold that day. Oh, we just put everything together on this. Okay, Kate.
Oh no,
I
that's
see
a
your
brick,
best.
Cade. Brick,
That's a
Cade
brick.
got-
He put on
Cade
all
got
his
dressed in
favorite,
the dark.
all his favorite pieces that day. That's a brick.
He did. He just put them all together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we
it's
can't
like
run
the-
with this one,
Yo-
Cade.
Joey
Nah,
from
go back to
Friends.
take the vest off. We might be solid.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. I
Or
wear that
take
vest,
that.
though. That's
Take
it
the
for us.
stripes
Enjoy the
off.
weekend. See y'all.